I bet that you have worked with arrays a lot. If not, you must have at least heard about them. And nope, I'm not here to say what arrays are or how to use them, but I will share something which may have gone unnoticed in the eyes of a lot of programmers. And trust me, it is interesting. So this is how we declare an array. And what is an array? Well, apart from the traditional definition, the arrays hold data of the same size in continuous pattern, and there are much more interesting information about it. Now let's dive a bit deeper. See, an array has a base address, and it's called the base pointer of the array. It contains the address of the first element of the array. So if I write an array of integer type and then declare a pointer variable and I supply the base address of the array to it, then if I print the base address in hex, we get a valid address as an output. And also, if I put an asterisk in front of the base address variable and then print it, we get the value 10. Oh, what's going on? See, this is the pointer arithmetic of C language, and it's definitely not complicated. The thing which is happening here is simple. The variable base address has the address of the first element of the array. But if I put the asterisk at the beginning at the print statement, then the base address variable holds the value of the first address of the array, and we get 10 as the output. Now that's a brief about pointers. We will talk about them in detail in some other videos. Now coming to the point that we have an array and we would like to get the first element, what do we do actually? We take a variable of the same type as of the array and then put the array name followed by the index of the first element. Wait, so the index of the first element is 0, which is weird because the first element should have the index of 1, the second one should have 2, 3, 4 and so on. So what's going on actually? Also, I've read in books that pushing the index first followed by the array name also works, and this expression is same as writing this one. What kind of a witchcraft is going on here? Well, nothing fishy. Let's get cleared one by one. Our first focus is, why does an array have index 0 for the first element? To answer this, I want you to look at two things: our array and its structure inside the RAM, and also remember what the base address means. Okay, so when we write the array name followed by the index, what we are actually doing is we are telling the compiler to go to the base address of the array and then add the index multiplied by the size of the array data type. In our case, the array is of an integer data type, and we know that an integer data type is 4 bytes in size in a 64-bit operating system. So what typically happens is we take the base address of the array, multiply the index value, which in our case is 0, by 4. This is nothing but the base address itself, and it returns the first element of the array, which is 10. Similarly, to get the second element, we put 1 in the place of index, which makes the calculation as the base address plus 1 multiplied by 4. This is equivalent to the base address plus 4 expression, and we have the address of the second element, which when printed gives us 20. This is the reason we start array indexing from 0 in conventional C language. Our second focus is on this particular syntax. How does this expression give us 10? Previously, we used to write the array name, which practically contains the base address inside it, and then the index within the brackets. But now we are doing exactly the opposite. Well, it might seem opposite to us, but for the compiler, it is still the same. If we look at the expression, then we can understand that there are two parts of this: 0 being an integer, and then we have the array name inside the brackets. If such a situation arrives, then the compiler does something clever. It shifts the integer, which is 0 as of this example, inside the bracket, and then adds it to the array's base address and multiplies the index with the size of the array data type. That gives us the element at this xyz address, which in our case is 10. Now what if we write 1 followed by the array name? Then we have to do 1, which is the integer part. It gets inside the bracket and gets multiplied by 4, since that is the size of our array data type, which is equivalent to writing the array base address plus 4. When we print it, we get the value at the base address plus 4th location in the RAM, which is nothing but the second element. And this is how arrays work in C, and this expression is also a valid one. It can be pretty confusing at times, but trust me, it's never boring.